as time flies by, you'll open up your eyes wide. You feel it's gonna go your way. Hey, hey, it's a brand new day. Hey, 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 it's a brand new day.
What a great opportunity to welcome back Charmaine Arbouin, our British Consul. With so much going on with Brexit and all the other matters you look after, today I'm going to do something different. We've got the BAFTA Awards coming up in Malaga, and I know that you're excited about this. Let's talk about something different. For a change, to start off with the movies.
Yeah, it's absolutely, it is wonderful, and it's nice to talk about something that isn't Brexit. And something that's positive. So 25th, I think it is, 25th of October, we have the BAFTA Shorts. So that's where people have kind of got small films, and they tend to be sort of 10 minutes to 20 minutes max. But we're doing screenings in Malaga on the 25th in, I think the venue is La Térmica. It'll be great. It is by invitation. There's going to be a really interesting range of films touching on some sort of grey subjects. So there's but very topical. So there's a film about immigrants, migration. There are films about environmental change, climate change. There's films about homosexuality. I've been told that it's aimed at a younger audience, but I'm going to go along to prove that wrong.
Well, yeah? You are a younger audience. I mean, everything's relative.
Exactly.
Everything's relative.
But it's going to be great. And you know, as you say, fast on the heels of the Marbella
International Film Festival.
Yeah.
Yes, which is always lovely for me. And I think it's to have that glitz and glamour and what a film festival represents, plus just seeing things through other people's eyes.
Yeah. Yeah, so it'll be really interesting, and it'll be an opportunity for us. I mean, all of the films will be subtitled in Spanish. It's an opportunity. All the authorities will obviously be there, but it's a good opportunity for us to invite members of the British community as well.
I didn't even know you had BAFTA Awards out here in Spain. Yeah, it's like little mini England.
It's the BAFTA Shorts. It's quite a coup for us because we don't generally get it in Malaga. Tends to go to big places like Madrid or Barcelona, but hey, Malaga's big as well. So.
It is, and as you say, it's quite a coup, to have the BAFTA Awards in Malaga. So if you want to go, you would have to be invited by somebody in the inn. I
mean, look out for it, because it may be that you see it's advertised, in the expat press or something like that. But anyway, it's the BAFTA Shorts, so. I want to manage people's expectations. It's not the BAFTAs, it's the shorts, it's just the short films. But I think the short films are probably as good as some of the longer films as well.
It's always nice to have a little bit of BAFTA.
Yeah.
A little bit of BAFTA.
So what else is happening in my world?
I mean, you have such a diverse responsibility. Yeah. Obviously Brexit is the one we're always first with, but this new website with support in Spain, supportinspain.info, which is to group together not just the age concerns and the healthcare areas, but also different associations that are there to keep people connected, make sure that they're not alone, because a lot of people are alone. In fact, last week you were mentioning that in that survey they did, a 55,000 odd, that it was our youngsters who are actually suffering loneliness, which I know for you was a shock. For me, it kind of, but you think of the social media, they do spend a lot of time alone, really. They're with friends, but not really.
Yeah. Hey, hey.
Free taxi 4 times a month and 25% discount on your car insurance if you're the Zero Hero.
Yeah, I'm here in Marbella, but it says here I'm in La Canada.
If you haven't mastered the lingo, don't worry. Linear Director has a free GPS geolocator service that will come and find you.
Hey, hey.
I mean, just to touch on the support in Spain, basically, I mean, I know you know, and probably your listeners, I've mentioned it before, but support in Spain, we supported it from the consulate because we noticed that we have an ageing British population along the Costa del Sol, and we were increasingly getting calls from hospital social workers, from medical professionals, from worried neighbours, from voluntary groups, all sort of saying, oh, I have Mrs. X, and she fell, she had a fall, she's actually medically fit to be released from hospital, but actually she doesn't have any family. And of course, to Spanish people, this is unheard of. Everybody's family
and they're counted on to be able to do those cares outside of a hospital and what have you.
So, and we would get calls from people saying, but where is her family? Why are her family not here coming to get her? Or why don't you send her back to the UK? Of course, you know as well as I do, as will most of your listeners, most of us that have chosen to live here chose to live here and would not willingly go back to the UK, unless we were forced, and dragged
unless
kicking
there is
and
a
screaming.
no Brexit agreement.
So it's really difficult. And then the issue is, well, she needs somebody to help her get her shopping in, and all of those social care things that don't really exist in Spain because your family would step in to do it. So we kind of thought, we know from our work that there are lots of voluntary organisations up and down the coast, and there are lots of British ones, but there are also lots of Spanish voluntary organisations. One of the things that you can say about Brits wherever they go is they set up voluntary organisations, yeah? So there are lots of these organisations, but quite often individuals like you and I might not know about them, but also the Spanish healthcare professionals.
They're the ones who need to know about them.
Yeah, they need to know about them, and they often don't know about them either. So we kind of thought, what could we do? And it's a really simple idea, which is we employed someone to just research, find out all of the voluntary organisations that you could find along this bit of the Costa del Sol that is most populated by Brits, put it into a directory, an online directory, kind of organise it so that it's by categories, so you can find things like day centres, but you can also find things like people that will provide you with financial advice, whatever else. And then we made sure that this information is in Spanish as well as English. Yeah?
Fundamental, because it's the Spanish healthcare that need to know where to go.
And so it's really good. I mean, if anybody hasn't used it, just have a look at it. supportinspain.info, and you can look by type of support that you're looking for, but you can also look by the area that you live in, because obviously if you live in Nerja, you're not that interested in what's available in Estepona. Yeah, so you can do that, and you can, it's not our information, obviously it belongs to all of these different groups, but you can also find out information like what sorts of exportable benefits are there. Lots of people are not aware that even though you live in Spain, as a British national, there might be some sorts of benefits that you can bring with you from the UK, yeah? But also most Brits don't know what benefits they might be entitled to in Spain, yeah? So most people don't know about the Ley de Dependencia, yeah? So there's a lot.
What is the Ley de Dependencia?
Well, the Ley de Dependencia, even though maybe it doesn't work as wonderfully as it should do, is a law that entitles you to seek like social care help. If you need help with an older person or whatever, you're entitled to ask for it. So you'll sort of have asistentes sociales in your towns or whatever. It's a way in which you can access those services.
Social workers.
Yeah, exactly.
Healthcare social workers.
And not just, I mean, I'm trying to think what we might call it in the UK, like home care or home helps. Yeah.
Right, yeah, like you used to go around, check on you, and take your food,
like
or
your meals and things like that. So there are, or you might have be entitled to a certain number of hours that that would be paid to you, and then you go look and find out who you want to provide that care for you in your village. So basically, the site just tries to bring together some of the information about what support there is out there. Quite often we say, oh, there's not any support, and quite often there is support. It's just that we don't know about it. And one of the exciting things is that we're kind of applying for some more money to see, because it's basically our bit of the Costa del Sol, but there are British population, there's massive British population in places like Almería, in parts of Cádiz, in Puerto Santa Maria, in bits of Granada. So we're looking at seeing whether we can extend it a bit, whether we could maybe extend it to the Costa Blanca as well, and maybe to the Canary Islands. Because it's been really well used. It's been incredibly well used, and I think between I think we launched in October or November last year, and up to the end of July there'd be something like 9,000 users.
That's fabulous.
Yeah.
And the nice thing is it really is the starting point, not just for us Brits, but for all nationalities. I know that Marisa Moreno, our Danish consul at the United Nationalities, was saying to that it's not strange to find dead Danes behind closed doors.
Yeah.
And yet for the Danish consul to start this whole thing that the British Embassy has done,
Yeah.
it really is one of those projects that we can all support, go into, check it out, add information if it's missing.
Yeah. If anything's wrong, there's an email at the, there's an email address at the bottom. Let us know. If I mean, the one thing that people have commented to us, and they've sort of said, "Oh, we wish that there were a forum." Obviously, we're kind of doing this on a shoestring, so we can't have a forum because we don't have anybody that would moderate it, and you would need that kind of thing. And we don't want people leaving information that then has to be exactly that then has to be validated. So this just helps you to go to whoever you need to go to find the information.
Well, that is really useful, and it's nice to see that it is proving to be so well accepted. I know that our aged care Marbella and San Pedro that officially exist is also included in that site, and please share it with all the different nationalities because it's something that can help us all. As you say, it's written in English, it's done by the British Embassy, but it is for everyone.
It's for everyone, yeah. And even though we aimed it at older people, because that was initially our concern, actually there's a lot of information on there that's applicable to anybody. And can you believe, okay, I can't remember what the number one, inquiry was, but can you believe that what the number 3 inquiry is? How to register in Spain.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
When things that you kind of think that are so talked about and that are so obvious. But I have to say that I've been here forever, and with my son-in-law now doing his paperwork, it's paperwork.
Yeah.
It's a process. You really need to get your head around it, and if you can't, get yourself a gestor or someone who can help you. Because really, to be honest with you, I find it confusing. As I said, I went to sign up people with the Padron and we did that all great, and then I walked out without even asking for their voting slips.
And the thing is that things change as well. So you've been here forever. I've not been here forever, but I've been here for maybe 13, 14 years. And the way that you register now is completely different to the way that you registered whenever I was here. Whenever I was here, you weren't asked about your healthcare arrangements. Now you are, yeah? And maybe we can do another show sometime about healthcare, because there are changes to the Convenio Especial. I don't know if people know that was one of the ways that you could pay into the system if you weren't working and if you weren't a pensioner, because from the UK we have that category of person, normally people that have taken early retirement, so they're not entitled to the S1, they don't bring their healthcare rights with them, but they're not working either, so they're not contributing in the same way as people that are...
This is definitely a subject for a programme.
Yeah.
I remember doing my S1 in England when I worked there, and apparently I've got a pension that's there somewhere, floating, that I need to go find.
We can do a whole other one about healthcare and taxes and all sorts.
The next one, you're on. Healthcare and taxes. Death and taxes. Back to Joe Black, one of my favourite shows. Charmaine, thank you so much.